right. Sorry, kind of a messy start, but I have to get my phone hooked up and I had to get it oriented right, and it's all a thing, right? Hello, it's been a minute since I have done a live. Let me make sure that everything is set up. Get all of the angles good. Oh, I have a bubbly sparkling water that is strawberry. And I have a wine glass right here. And this, I'm gonna put my bubbly in here. Little ASMR moment maybe. I've been doing some YouTube, some ink swatches. I don't know if anyone watching my live has been checking that out. I don't know if anyone likes it or not. Hopefully they do. But I've always said that I really like watching ink dry, so figured I would bring that to others. All right. So I'm going to go through my weekly setup and hopefully get some questions along the way that I would love to answer. And we'll just get to it. I had tried to plan ahead thinking I would be really a lot of fun and print out some pictures from my trip this weekend, but I put them down somewhere and I don't know where I put them. And if anyone watched my unboxing of my new Beauteous pen, look at it. And I noticed it has a little flower on the finial. Kind of see it. You know that I was exceptionally tired when I filmed that. I think I must have said it maybe 18 times. I am still very tired today because of me, and I got very stuck in my head last night that I wasn't going to be able to sleep, and I kind of manifested a terrible night's sleep for myself. So I'm still a little fatigued. Love that bubbly. All right, so I'm pulling up my calendar on an iPad right there. I have my work calendar synced with my personal calendar so I can see everything. If you are watching, please take a second and say hi. And if you do have any questions throughout, drop them in the comments. I think there's about a 1.5-minute delay between when I start and when you start being able to see it. So I will try to answer all the questions. And the first step that I do is I look at my calendar and I make sure that I have all of the things noted here. And so I know that I did not for today. Hi, Taz. Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. I always think of you when I go to do lives because I know that you have some times that you can't do because of other commitments that you have. And I tried to be mindful of that, but I also knew I needed to do this setup. So I did end up having a training this morning that I popped in on. And because I'm at a training on Friday, I moved a Friday AIM group to Monday, and that was kind of a last minute pivot. And then I did a meeting with our financial advisor this afternoon. This calendar might be a little far away for me. Let's see. 8. I don't know if I'm going to make it for this one, but I'm going to put it on here. Anyway, consult. And then I'm meeting with a teacher. So I'm working on an evaluation for a student, and I heard some inconsistent information for last year. So I'm meeting with the teacher just to get that background so I can make sure that my report is thorough. And I am going to central office, and then I've got to drive back across town because at 2:10 I am doing a training for special education staff. So myself and the other BCBA in district, we are doing a training on kind of how to do very basic behavior support plans. And so we put together a quick slideshow and just, in essence, figure out what you want to stop, figure out what you would rather they do, so an alternative behavior, and then here's a couple of things that you can do in your class that take very little resources. So we'll be doing that. It should be maybe about a 15-minute training, which will be good because then I have to do a return at Kohl's. My son ordered a computer part and we found out tonight it was not the right part. So we're returning it, and he wants to get the money back because he wants to do another purchase. And yeah. So this 9 o'clock central office, that's actually not going to happen, but I am going to do a 9 o'clock consult. Yeah, I think this time of year, Taz, there's a lot of crazy going on at a lot of people's work. Just spring fever, I think, is a real thing, and people come out with all the feels, and yeah. Taking a sip of my bubbly water. And then I have at 12:30 another consult at that building. Then at 8:15 I have my lower elementary day on Thursdays, and I've been working really hard at trying to align the different consults for different students at each building on the day that I'm at that building, so I'm doing less running around town, so to speak. And then I have a 9:45. And what I have been doing is between these two meetings, I have been doing some prep work. Oh, I do have to do this though. This is a once a month. So I haven't touched it because I only have to bounce between buildings once a month. So I'm gonna have to do my prep earlier, but I do a kindergarten AIM group. And last week during our AIM group, we actually brought in I brought in raw eggs and had them do an activity where they had to be in the present moment, so focus. And these are 5 and 6 year olds, so for them to be focused, that's hard work. But they had to pass the egg from spoon to spoon, and so then we did a whole debrief and a discussion about if they are not focused, if they're not in the present moment, then they're going to drop the egg and it's going to smash. So it was a really nice way to physically demonstrate a component of being psychologically flexible. And then I'm ending my day with a consult. So I have a question from Taz about my skin routine. So I have been doing a couple of chemical peels. And so the first one that I did, I was able to do 3 passes, I think, maybe 2 actually. And I panicked. And tapped out. And I had no side effects at all. So going into the next one, I did all 4 passes and I handled it beautifully. I had no tingling, no discomfort. and then I only had the tiny littlest bit of peeling between my eyebrows. So I go back for, oh, actually this week. Look at that. My eyes glanced right over it. Taz, you might have seen it. That might have been why you asked. um, uh, but yeah, I am going this week and I'm going to try to do kind of the next level up and see if that can get some peeling going on. So this is a little bit repetitive, but then hello Yui. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And yes, so there's a bunch in April and a bunch in May for ELA and math, and then for high school there's some biology. So in the current role that I have, I'm actually feeling really lucky and I'm staying under the radar, but I don't have to do anything with it except for wish everyone else good luck. um, so let's see, 10, 15. Yeah, so I do copy this over, even though I've written it in one spot. I write it here so that each day when I sit down and I pull this out, I can see what I have going on and not miss something because I didn't flip back to my calendar. Ooh. All right, and then let me just grab this and put it right here. I keep hoping that as I turn pages, I'm going to find the pictures that I printed out, but I have kind of a backup idea that I might pull out. Ooh. So Yui has a room full of middle schoolers that are feeling all the feels, all the nervousness about having to do their MCAS testing, and I get that. I mean, I certainly, I'm sure that you're giving them all the affirmations that they just need to do their best, and you know, all the encouragement to get a good night's sleep and eat healthy and drink water and all those wonderful things. Oh my goodness, Taz, you are too kind. Ugh. That's very, very kind. I am having a moment of being speechless here. So apologies that I'm getting a little quiet. And I just put consult when I should have wrote observation, and that's okay. It is what it is. I actually had to laugh because I went to a PE class last week with this same PE teacher for a little kindergartner who all year they have not been able to get this little munchkin to participate. Hi, Priscilla, welcome. And so they haven't been able to get this little kindergartner to participate, and they so I went in and she loves cats. And so I am not joking when I tell you I was on the floor walking around pretending to be a cat and using my hand to, like, you know, pretend to lick my hand and wipe the side of my face. And but I'll tell you, I got her participating in gym. Was able to get her participating in a couple parts of gym. So if I were to ever get monetized, I'm just going to use that money to fund my hobby. Um, And so that is something that I am trying to do this year is really stick to the money that I bring in through this channel to purchase things. So the video that I did yesterday from Yoseka, all the money for the pen and the ink that I got was from my channel. Um, so, but I will say because I'm not buying as much, I my income has slowed down. Um, and that just is what it is. So that's kind of where I'm exploring shorts. It's easy for me to do an ink swatch each day. And I think I've made about 50 cents on it so far. But the more that I bank up, the more people will watch. So it's fun. And then today, and sorry, as I write things, thoughts come to me. So apologies, you guys are going to hear some stories. But I had I taught an AIM group today, and I go from working with kindergartners where we do the eggs that we let drop and crack and talk about being in the present moment. And then went to a middle school group today with um, seventh graders, and we did a lesson on, um, oh gosh, sorry, committed actions. So the the analogy that I used was at times we get a flat tire. Hi, Tina. Welcome. um, at times we get a flat tire and we have kind of that oh no moment. The world is falling apart, worst case scenario thinking, and you start panicking and having your really big thoughts and big feelings. Uh, but you can inflate your tire by having a committed action, by acknowledging I have this thought, I have this feeling, but these are the committed actions or the action steps that I'm going to take in response to that. And and it was really interesting because I tell the students I'm never going to make you share anything, but I kind of did a thumbs up, thumbs down, or put your thumb up if you've had a flat tire moment, and every single thumb went up, and even some of the other adults in the room. So um, it was really nice, and the teacher of that class ended up being out of the classroom. He had some planning time at the time that I taught my lesson, but I caught him in the hall after and gave him the keywords that he could use to expand upon the work that we had done. Um, okay, so I have things planned out for the week here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, and this is what I typically do at night or the following morning, but I go in and I fill out what I did. And then I've been using this to then do my memory keeping with some stickers and such. So I have this reference point here. So I got into work at 7:30, and um, on the first day of the work week, I really do, I call it setup. I am making sure that my desk is oriented well to be ready to do some work. I sometimes will fill up my diffuser. Oh, that focus is not great. Let me see if I can do something to help out with that. That might be better. Okay. But today I just kind of, oh, that is not focused. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can fix that. Hmm. Huge apologies. Is what it is. It's live, guys. All right. And then I went into the new IEP training. Yes, accept, identify, move. Hi, then EDC. For the other people on this live, if you have not checked out the channel for Venn EDC, highly recommend it. He's newer to the current journey that his channel is going on. But quite frankly, he's an amazing person. Um, I I happen to know him somewhat peripherally in my personal life. I think we're getting to know each other better because he's now my in-person pen friend, which I really appreciate. Um, but yes, accept, identify, move, and then EDC. I think where you work should be using AIM 100%, and if they're not, they're missing the boat. So I did a new IEP training, and during that, I did kind of a behavioral summary. Um, oh gosh, it was hours ago that I worked. What did I do? I'm gonna put it here that I did my middle school AIM group because it was at 10:51. So I'm gonna round it right on up to 11. Um, and then I did a I put together a middle school program template. So we identified as a middle school team that we really wanted to track which students were, um, in essence, where they were supposed to be versus which students were accessing a therapeutic classroom or which ones were in a reentry process post hospitalization or school refusal. And so I put together a spreadsheet that had some built in formulas for uh, the length of the school day, which is 390 minutes, and then the length that they were expected to be there, the length they were actually there, and the amount of time that they spent in the therapeutic classroom. And then I also started building out, or I created a graph that goes along with that. And then I also was building out a tab for social emotional to capture students that don't have individualized behavior support plans or individualized behavior data sheets, but there's enough information that we want to catch. So I built that out, and that's basically how I ended my day. I almost took a sick day today because of how exhausted I was, but I was able to make it for 3/4 of the day. And then I got home and I made myself lunch. I did just a little bit of relaxing. I will go back in and fill in that hole there. Um, and then anytime that I am having issues with sleeping, I force myself to do some cardio heavy working out. So I did a treadmill run because I knew that I needed to help myself to be exhausted. Otherwise, I won't get out of this cycle that I am in. Um, so I did that. We had a garage repair person come, so I had to check in with that person and make sure we were on the same page with what work was going to be done. And then I had the Edward Jones appointment, and my financial advisor is actually a doctoral level BCBA herself, and I used to work with her way back in the day, as well as her husband. And then I worked another job with her husband. And when I was introduced to him at this other job, he said, "Oh, I know you." And without even thinking, I just said, "No, you don't." And he said, "No, I do." And so I started listing off where I'd worked and, "Oh, when, what years were you here?" And so we realized we did overlap, and then I felt really silly. In my defense, though, he looked very different. He had long hair in a ponytail with the, baggy cargo jeans, and here he is, uh, short hair with a button up and a tie, and I just wasn't making the connection. So, but the field is small. You always come back around. And then I went right into dinner prep, and I'm going to say an inventory. So I actually sent, um,
Priscilla a list of all the bottled inks that I have, and I felt a little shame for the amount of bottled inks that I have, and I texted Ven EDC and said that I wasn't feeling real great about my life choices, but if you ever need somebody to give you a little pep talk for why this hobby is so great and why you should continue to, support it, reach out to Ven EDC, he's great. Um, and then we actually had dinner at this time. Um, right in between dinner, there was my son had his, tech meltdown, which turned into a life lesson on spending thoughtfully, and, then I did a little bit of a snug with him, and now I'm doing this. Oh, look at that vanity seat. You got Taz as a follower. I will say she's a quality follower. Quality. You're gonna like that. And then in here, I did and I'm just gonna put a couple of bullet points. I did a data summary. And then I'm really sick of doing these weekly data summaries, so I put together a another template for this to go into that I can then get the information to a parent in a different way so that I'm not having to do so much manual work. All right, so looking at the comments between Priscilla and Taz, everyone's agreeing that we all have a lot of ink, so we're not going to feel bad about it. That's just we're just going to embrace it and be okay with our life choices. Um, and then oh, and I also had to prep for AIM and EDC. I'm still stuck in my head that you knew what AIM was, so you know I'm gonna get done with this and send you a little text about that. And then I did some IEP work. And while I was in that training, I finished up a progress report. So I had for the short time that I was at work, I had a productive work day. I did a lot of things. Um, and I just really have to work on my positive self-talk that I will sleep tonight and that will be just fine. Now I do want to see if I can, before I log off, and if I can't do it in just a few seconds, then I'm going to give this up, but I can. All right, so I'm going to show, oh, I hope the view is okay and not kind of wonky because it's a screen, but let's see. So here's some pictures from the concert. Here's me at Yoseka. I got to talk to Daisy for a moment. I fangirled. My husband was like, "Oh, did you um, show her or did you tell her about your channel?" And I said, "No, because I would have been mortified if she was like, 'Cool story, bro,' and didn't know anything about my channel." So I just, told her how much I appreciated her content and um, how much I was looking forward to um, going to the store. And then I got to hear about the event that they're doing in August. As much as I would love to go, oh gosh, I don't know if that's really a reality, but we shall see. Um, so, with that, I'm coming up on 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and good night. I'm going to go back to spending some time with my son, and I feel better now that I am set up for the week. And I'm looking forward to my training on Friday, and I'm looking forward to going up to New Hampshire this weekend. Um, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you are all very welcome. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.